What's up guys, welcome back from the Yugioh Pro duel video, Thunder Dragons in the new Tcg format. So January 2020, no Colossus, but yeah, something we've not expected, right? Or at least did not expect, probably Colossus 2-1. Anyway, so Colossus is banned, so is the deck still live? Is Thunder Dragon still possible? Definitely! Well, because the other top tier decks were also hit, Orcus, Salamangreat, Sky Striker, etc. So, okay, Thunders are hit, but the deck is still viable. You have like all the Thunders, all the plus effects, they have a strong fusion monster, the deck has still access to like easy links, right? And that's where I think the goal of this deck is working towards to like powerful links like, you know, Avramax, Appaloosa for example, and then sitting back behind your Colossus with your once per turn pop, etc. I feel there are two ways to play the deck. It's either like go slow, control-ish build with Nibiru, the Paleozoic Danomythicus, with hand traps as well, but I do opt to go for the other way, and that's with maybe a bit more aggressive way with dangers, etc. Pretty much this list, a more chaos-oriented list, not really new, right? I mean, Melody of the Awakening Dragon, trying to search out either, yeah, both Emperor and Leviathan as well. And that opens up at the same time with the dangerous more rank 8 Exceed plays. And going into Master Rule 2020, making those rank 8 Exceed plays much easier, because again, you're not forced to go for your Link monsters first, makes this deck much better. You could definitely play more like rank, at least level 8 dangers. I'm only playing one, if I'm not mistaken, being the Danger Bigfoot, but that gives the deck more options, going for maybe not Titanic Galaxy, but the Galaxy Ice one that negates monster effect. So that might be good, especially prevent your opponent from using the hand traps. Cyberstein is one of my personal attacks, I guess, here for Thunders. I mean, going for Exterio first turn is all quite cute. I believe it needs to banish first, so perfect scenario is that you banish one of your Thunder Dragons to get the beneficial effect, and then you mill the top card from your deck. And again, Thunders is like really a deck you want some milling going, right? Sad part here is for the deck is that first of all, Cyberstein isn't really searchable. Well, yeah, you could maybe, let's say, play Curious or something like that, but and you know, like going for Dugaris maybe if you have like the option to get 2 level 4s on the field for the Reborn effect, or maybe Leviathan to reborn the Cyberstein are all definitely options, but that feels a little bit too gimmicky, right? But then again, if you don't want to main deck Cyberstein, you could just drop the Stein from the main deck for the 3rd Solar Battery Man. So anyway, as I mentioned before, I mean, there are again 2 options I feel to run the deck. Maybe like looking at the OCG, they also tend, even though, yeah, they do have on Colossus still, but they do prefer not maining dangers and main decking cards like the Paleozoic Danomythicus, the Raigeki Break slash Karma Cut for the deck, and the Crackdown as well. Interesting there. But then again, I guess the control build, the slower build, maybe preferred because of Colossus, but yeah, sadly for us TCG players we don't have that. I'm speaking from the perspective of a Thunder Dragon player, not from the player are playing against Thunders, but there's a good it's definitely a good amount of like Chaos boss monsters in the deck to make use of those graveyard effects, right? So the deck can definitely go second, it can go first, and that's, I feel, the advantage of this particular version, especially with the dangers. You can definitely go second, play through your opponents multiple negations, also thanks to dangers, nightmares, Instant Fusion as well. Instant Fusion is one of those, well, no, it's not really a new card, but it's a card that going into Master Rule 2020, no way, this is going to still be a 3, that the card is just too good, going first, going second, and going second you can, in this particular deck, either go for 1000 Ice Restrict, Millennium Ice probably, maybe when it's like Master Rule 2020, and of course the level 5 Thunder Fusion. That's pretty much one of your only ways to put out an easy Titanic Galaxy, next to, of course, your regular Thunder Dragon Fusion. So I think the main core of the deck, or the main goal of the deck is, well, if going first, if going second maybe OTK or whatever, but going first is definitely put up, let's say, Masquerina, or using Cloth Thief to put up another monster on your side of the field. Basically go for Appaloosa or Avramax, but preferably Appaloosa for some more monster negations, especially during the first turn, or during your opponent's turn, going for Masquerina and potentially getting some beneficial Thunder Dragons as well. So those are all definitely options for the deck. But I think that's the goal to that you might want to work towards with this particular deck, and that's you know, like making those big boss links followed up by the Titan protection and the Titan and Leviathan shenanigans as a whole. So going first, the deck doesn't really change too much from Crusadia or whatever. The reason why I don't like Crusadia that much is, well, Nibiru. That's pretty much one of the only reasons, and yeah, the deck is still quite vulnerable to Nibiru. That doesn't really change, so again, feel free to you know, act accordingly, maybe play a little bit more of a control build, and that's why maybe the control build might be better, or maybe, you know, side-decking those traps or hand traps as well in favor of yeah, the dangers or whatever. So yeah, Appaloosa first turn is always quite good against a monster effect heavy deck, especially against something like Orcust. And this should be game, right? I mean, the Thunder Dragon fusion, and that's still the reason why Thunders might still be like a top tier contender, is that their graveyard effects. You have so many recovery plays during your next turn. A simple Chaos Boss monster drop could banish your Thunder Dragon Dark or your other Thunder Dragons to gain those pluses, and that feels quite ridiculous, even with the broken cards Colossus being banned. So again, going second, Allure of Darkness, as you've seen as the spell lineup here in this deck, 2 Allure, only 2, I'm not a huge fan of triple Allure, like always drawing multiple Allures and no Darks, you know how that goes, so that's why I feel 2 is a sweet spot for me. Same for Thunder Dragon Fusion, and most of the time you'll just be searching that one out off of the Dark Thunder Dragon, so I feel 3 might be a bit too much, since again, going first or going second at null, Thunders in the graveyard, the card might be just a dead card or dead weight, and again, you can just search it out off of your Dark Thunder Dragon. So Titan gets some extra pops here, and that's, you know, one of the reasons why this deck is still a contender to those multiple Titan pops, thanks to Thunder and the Thunder Dragon Fusion, sending back the regular Thunder Dragon. Going for Titanic Galaxy, also one of those things that this deck might focus a bit more on, those rank 8 Exceed plays. I'm not wearing one of the more recent rank 8 monsters that was revealed. It's, what is it called? It's the, I'm not really sure about the number, the Dragravion, but I believe its TCG name got changed. You know which one I mean. The rank 8 detach, and then let's say special summon in your Titanic Galaxy, right? But that you need more extra monster zones for that. So if we are going into the new Master Rule 2020, that might be an option. But for now, I feel Titanic Galaxy is just fine. Last example again against Orcust, and going second, this is okay, Aloof Lupin for some searches. Then again, you know, like Orcust being able to search out or open with the field spell lets them search out the Crescendo, so I have to play around like 1 or 2, maybe 3 interruptions depending on hand traps as well. Now we see no hand traps, but again, Allure for the extra plus, and I do have both Emperor and Leviathan in hand, so I could sacrifice the Melody here. Bigfoot, maybe I needed it, you know, like an extra big beat stick on the field, an extra dark monster, maybe for damage that might have been needed, but it's fine what it is. Eventually going for Unicorn, I think I have to go for it to get rid of 0 Boros, but this is not enough. Then again, I do I'm able to go for some damage and potentially use Titan during my opponent's turn by discarding the level 1 Thunder, but again, Orcust is that deck that, I mean, if it goes first, you can get rid of their field and they can just pump out everything again because of their graveyard effects. Their graveyard basically being their second hand, and that's why, again, Orcust is still a top tier contender in our new Tcg format, even though like all decks, all top tier decks, lost a lot of cards, big play, big boss monsters, big fuel cards, those decks still seem quite, yeah, quite of a solid option, because just other decks like Power and just maybe, you know, like maybe some adjustments to those older decks, other decks, tier 2-ish decks or tier 1.5 decks might give them, thanks to the new list, more options to deal with like the good old school tier 1 like Sky Striker, probably not, but Thunder, Orcust, Salamangreats, and so on. So this is currently my list. Like always, feel free to leave suggestions. The other option I feel is to go with more like grindy, control based with more traps, 3 of the Dynamysticus. maybe Impermanence if you want. More Ash Blossoms, Hand Traps, Nibiru as well. No Diablos because no free Colossus for the tribute. I'm not a huge fan of Sayuja. Maybe some Summoner, I believe the name is in the main deck as well. But I kinda prefer Cloth Deep over that. But again, feedback is always appreciated. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.